Hey there, MJ traders and investors. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Today is Saturday, April 13th. Hope you're having a great weekend. And in this video, I'm going to do another rapid fire news update for period April 6th to the 12th. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or anything that I write. And I try to keep these videos around 10 to 15 minutes in length. And it's not to go into deep dive details, it's just a high level overview. Before we get to it though, make sure to smash the like. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all the good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. And I'm going to be giving away a Pow Group annual membership valued at $150. Just go over to the community tab and scroll down, and you'll see all the details there on how to enter that giveaway. And I'll be doing that on April 20th, so 4/20, in celebration of that day. And Germany going legal and Florida on the ballot. Also, Colorado governor says MJ rescheduling and banking reform are first dominoes on the path to federal legalization. So it sounds like governor has been watching Pow Group videos, because this is something I always say, the dominoes are falling. You know, look at the EU. It's just a matter of when, not if. And it's game theory playing out, right? Once one country, Canada, then Germany, then it's just a domino effect, right? And then I've always been saying for months now, months and months, that we're going to more than likely get rescheduling to Schedule 3, safe banking, uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ, then full-blown legalization, more than likely through descheduling, similar to Germany and Canada, where it's removed from the Controlled Substances Act, right, from the narcotics list. Most likely scenario, and that's the most likely chain of events, right? Because as we know, nothing happens in the world without JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, right? So you need to get those Wall Street crooks positioned first before they federally legalize it, right? In form of more than likely through descheduling, right? Which is effectively two ways to get there, either through Congress, but more than likely not going to happen, more than likely going to be removed from the narcotics list altogether. But like I said, they'll take that incremental approach, reschedule, safe banking, get the Wall Street banks and crooks positioned, then they'll federally legalize it, right? Let me know in the comment section below if you agree with me. Also, Canada's canceled licenses and uncollectible MJ taxes soar. So as we know, there's been lots of insolvencies, trials and tribulations. There's been, lots of saturation in the market. We don't need 1,000 producers here in Canada, even retailers getting hit. But as we know, Tuesday is going to be a big day next week, April 16th, because that's when the federal budget should come out, and we could potentially see a shift from excise tax flat rate to a percentage fee, which could add tens of millions of dollars, mostly to the company's bottom line here in Canada. And as we know, there's store cap doubling in Ontario, 75 to 150 retail stores per retailer. We have edibles set to potentially go from 10 milligram to 100 milligram. All that's only going to help combat the illicit market. And we're now over 5 years legal here in Canada. So generally after that 5-year mark is where you start to see massive changes. And I can only expect massive changes after the 10-year mark as well. Maybe, after 10 years, we start to see these products and whatnot offered in convenience stores, right? Which we know lots of producers in Canada have been asking for that. So much growth ahead, it's not even funny. Also, MJ Moment says that Florida MJ initiative will improve quality of life by providing alcohol alternative. Top MJ CEO says, pushing back against Ron DeClown. So this was, I believe, it was Kim Rivers, CEO of Trulieve. And as we know, in my previous video and previous MJ Recap weekly news video, I think it was last week, Ron DeClown said that it's going to basically decrease the quality of life, which it's literally the opposite, right? Like that guy's so out to lunch, it's not even funny. But no, he must be smoking something else on the Schedule 1 list that's not MJ. Also, MJ operator Tilray lowers 2024 expectations and eyes Canada tax savings. So again, the writing's on the wall. More than likely going to see that over the next couple of months. Over the next couple of weeks, we'll see an update on that. And I think it's really going to happen where we'll shift to a percentage fee. If that happens, then it's pretty much a done deal that we're going to get rescheduling to Schedule 3 in the US as well. And 280E should go away. And I don't think that it's a coincidence that all of this is happening around the same time, right? It's just the puppet masters pulling the puppet strings. Also, Chuck Schumer, Senate Democrats signal new attempt at federal MJ legalization. So it seems like every time you turn around, there's a new attempt or more chatter, MJ at the focus, right? At the forefront. So great to see. Like I said, it's just a matter of when, not if. Also, MariMed closes $5.3 million deal for shuttered Maryland MJ store. And recently just launched Betty's Eddies again, which they're starting to get a lot more sales, and they're getting a ton of positive feedback, a lot of brand awareness, and people seem to love it. Can't wait to try them myself. If you have, let me know in the comment section below if you have. what you think of it. Also, MJ firm Village Farms regains NASDAQ compliance and avoids the reverse split which has been plaguing the industry. We know Cannabis just did a 1 for 10, but also Weed Maps lost compliance with the NASDAQ. So we'll see if they can regain compliance organically, or if they have to go the way of the reverse split, which most companies in Canada have done, right? And a lot of people hate that fact, right? But it's just an accounting trick. It's just a way for them to manipulate the market like they always do. And then the reason why you haven't seen the big MSOs do it is because they're not listing on the US major exchanges yet, right? So they could potentially face the same issues once they uplist to the NYSE or the NASDAQ, right? More than likely the NASDAQ. Also, Pennsylvania lawmakers file MJ legalization bill ahead of the committee hearing this week. So again, Florida, Pennsylvania going to be huge. We have Germany, first pillar, not-for-profit, possession and cultivation, and then eventually in the next year or two, we should see pillar 2 and adult use sales and for-profit, right? So there's so much growth here, like all the things that I mentioned previously in the video about Canada, then the US rescheduling, safe banking, uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ, full-blown federal legalization, more than likely through descheduling, and then you have individual states like Pennsylvania and Florida on the horizon, right? Like there's so much growth, it's almost unfathomable, right? It's exciting at the same time, but as we know, there's been attacks as well on Israel, reported attacks by Iran. So that rattled some markets here, and specifically the crypto market. And we could potentially see some weakness into next week as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. I've been saying for a while now, the S&P 500 more than likely going to daily oversold. The first time since October. We haven't seen a EMA 12 and 26 bear cross as well, which is on deck. And that hasn't happened since September. And we basically have no weekly support. So we're likely due for some pretty solid consolidation on the S&P 500, which is more than likely going to be headwinds for the MJ space leading into next week. But we'll see if we can get some of that weakness offset by, like I said, that excise tax switching to a percentage fee in Canada. Also, Ohio recreational MJ sales could launch in June under regulators' expedited plan, lawmaker says. So again, another huge catalyst as well, and market. Also, the Cannabis Company and Revelry expand partnership to 4 new East Coast markets. And rolling right along, no reason for DEA to delay MJ rescheduling, says FDA chief. So this is huge, right? FDA, I have no idea why this is in the hand of the DEA anyway. It's literally the Drug Enforcement Agency. Why are they making decisions when they're just there to enforce? It doesn't make any sense to me. But like I said, writing's on the wall. I do think that the most likely scenario is we get it approved to Schedule 3. They're going to approve that recommendation from HHS. And then I think it could potentially be announced this month. And then there'll be a 60-day comment period, more than likely get enacted toward the end of the year after the elections or beginning of 2025. But I do think that that's still the most likely scenario and time frame. Also, Michigan MJ sales surge. So they were up sequentially after rising in February at 288.8 million. Sales rose 10.6% sequentially and were a new record level. The sequential growth on a per day basis was 3.5%. They were up 15.7% from the year earlier. So big business. Also, High Tide announces transition to chief financial officer. So they're going to be getting a new CFO. The previous one, Mr. Patino, will remain engaged with the company for a mutually agreed upon period. So it doesn't look like there's any bad blood. And we should get some information in a subsequent press release soon about the new candidate, which will be taking effect, already accepted the position, and it'll be effective May 1st. So we should see some information about that. But I did post a video on this news, and I did some technical analysis on High Tide as well, if you want to check out that video. But let me know what you think of this news in the comment section below. A little bit of a shorter video today. I've been having a crazy couple of days, busy days, so nice to kind of get this one done quickly. But there's no shortage of news in the MJ space, and like I said, this is just me cherry picking all the most important ones that go, over the last week or so, that transpired over the last week. So lots to cover, and seems like never a dull moment in the space, which is great to see. But thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rod with Pow Group, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you on the next video.